Hi guys, my name is Tokir Ahmed. I welcome you all on my YouTube channel Paramount Academy for English Language. First of all, I am really sorry for being late, but it's never too late. So I am here today with a topic of paramount significance, and that is direct and indirect object. Direct and indirect object. So first of all, in order to understand that what is a direct and indirect object, you must know that what is a subject and verb in a sentence. Subject and verb in a sentence. Students, as you know that a sentence of English language can be dissected or disintegrated into three parts: subject, verb, and object. If you don't know that what is a subject and what is a verb, so it will be hard for you to find out an object in a sentence. So let me tell you in brief that subject is something or someone who does the action, means doer of an action. Clear? Or something or someone we talk about is your subject. Verb is very simple, any activity, any action performed or done by the subject. Now question arises, what is an object? Now object is simply receiver of an action. Receiver of an action. Means something or someone on the receiving end. Something or someone that receives the action on which something is done. Now, how you will be able to identify that either the object in a sentence is direct or indirect? You come across, most of the times in English sentences you come across there are two objects in a sentence. I shall be explaining in detail inshallah. Clear? Receiver of an action is called your object. Now, in order to find out an object in a sentence, as I told you earlier, that you must know subject and verb. Now, let me cite an example for your convenience and entire understanding. Now, Ali reads a book. Stop. Now, Ali reads a book. As I told you, that if you are inclined or bent upon finding out an object in a sentence, first of all you must know that what is your subject, doer of an action, Ali. Now action itself means verb, that is reads. Now you will have to ask question to yourselves, clear, of what or whom, in order to locate or in order to spot out that which or where is your object and what is your object in a sentence. You will have to simply ask a question to yourselves that what or whom. Now look, Ali reads. Now you can ask a question to yourselves that what Ali reads or what does Ali read. Clear? It will help you, these two words, clear, will be assisting or helping you in finding out your object in a sentence. See, Ali reads, what does Ali read? Or what Ali reads? Clear? A book. This is your object. By asking a question to yourselves, you can easily find out, you can easily look at, clear, or spot out an object in a sentence. Now let me tell you one thing that you have to bear in mind, that your direct object, clear, is the receiver of the action of the verb. Clear? Number one, that your direct object, clear, is actually the receiver of the action. Clear? This reading is a verb. Clear? So your direct object, a book. Clear? It is clear when you ask question of what or whom and you find the answer. Definitely it is your direct object. When you ask a question of what or whom to yourselves and you find the answer clear in a sentence, that would be your direct object. So a book is your direct object. Now question arises that how we will be able to find out or look at indirect. I shall be explaining it later. So point number one, that you will have to ask question what or whom and you will find your object. Point number two regarding direct object is that your direct object is the recipient or receiver of the action denoted or shown by your verb. Clear? Example number two. She has clear her friend. Now again, first of all, subject she, because doer of an action, has clear verb itself. Now you can ask a question to yourself. She has, what does she had? No. Whom does she had? Her friend. Clear? Here we find the answer of whom. So as I've told you earlier in the start that if you find the answer of what or whom, clear, that would be your direct object. Clear? Here question of whom, if you ask a question, whom does she had or whom she has, you find the answer her friend. So here her friend is your direct object. I hope I would have been at success to make you understand the topic, what do we mean or what is a direct object and how you can locate or find out a direct object in a sentence. As I told you two things, that you will have to ask a question of what or whom to yourselves in order to locate a direct object in a sentence. And number two, that your direct object is the recipient or receiver of the action shown by the verb. Clear? Let me proceed to the next, that is indirect object. So indirect object. When we talk about indirect object, we will be repeating the same process. We will have to look at subject in the verb, in the sentence. We will have to find out the verb, but there is something additional. What is that? That we will be talking about direct object. Point number one regarding indirect object in a sentence. That your indirect object is the receiver or the recipient of your direct object. Point number one, your indirect object receives your direct object, means your indirect object is the receiver of your direct object. I shall make you understand with examples. Point number two, your indirect object usually comes before your direct object. Regarding indirect object, 2 points that I would like you to keep or bear in mind, that indirect object, clear, your indirect object is the recipient or receiver of your direct object. Point number two, your indirect object usually precedes, means comes before your direct object. Let me cite an example for you. He gave me his book. Full stop. As I told you that we will have to repeat the process. First of all, we will look at subject or doer of the action. Then we will be finding out the verb he gave. What did he give? Clear? In order to have an indirect object in a sentence must have a direct object. Point number 3. If you are looking for an indirect object, that sentence must have a direct object. So, without it, we can't find out indirect object in a sentence. So, subject, verb. Now, as I told you when I was telling you something about your direct object, that you will have to ask questions of what or whom. He gave. What did he give? Clear? A book. Sorry, his book. So here we find the answer of what. So when we find the answer of what, that is your direct object. Clear? Now, he gave his book. We have found the answer of what. Now, second is, whom did he give? Whom did he give? Clear? Me. Me is your indirect object. Indirect object. Your indirect object answers the question for whom, or to whom the action of the verb perform. For whom or to whom the action of the verb has been or is performed or done. Now look, he gave. What did he give? His book. To whom? To whom did he give his book? Me. So that is your indirect object. Let me cite another example for your convenience. My brother gave, clear, me a golden ring. Same example, same structure. Clear? You will have to ask the question of what, clear, or whom, then you will be finding this would be your direct object. Clear? It will be your indirect object. Clear? I helped him, clear, with some money. Clear? I helped him. I helped, this is your subject, this is your verb. Clear? Whom did I help? What did? Clear? So here we find that this would be your, clear, I gave him some money. So that is your object. Clear? Here this is your indirect object. So I hope that I would be at success to make you understand the clearance of the topic, that what do we mean by direct and indirect object. It's very easy if you follow the process of, clear, putting question of what or whom, to whom or for whom the action of the verb has been done. Let me give you another example. She gave the homeless person some money. Okay. Subject, verb, she gave. What did she give? Some money. That is your direct object. Because we find the answer by putting what or whom, that would be your direct object. So that's your direct object. When we talk about whom did she give? The homeless person. That is your indirect object. Indirect object. So as I told you that your indirect object is the recipient or receiver of your direct object. So who is the recipient of the money? Clear? The homeless person. So this is your direct object. Some money is your direct object, and the homeless person, that is your indirect object, because it is the receiver. Clear? The homeless person is the receiver or the recipient of your direct object. This is a very important point that I would like every one of you to bear in mind regarding indirect and direct object. That your indirect object, clear, is the receiver of direct object, and your direct object is the receiver of the action shown by the verb in a sentence. So let me tell you another example that would be of great help to you so far as the topic is concerned. The teacher clear gives her student a lot of homework. Now look, subject the teacher, verb gives. What does teacher give? Clear? A lot of homework, a bit lengthy object. So this, clear, a lot of homework, this part of sentence answers the questions, answer the question what. So this is your direct object. Clear? Direct object. Now whom does the teacher give? Clear? Her students. Clear? So as I told you that your indirect object is the receiver of the action. So whom does, clear, she give a lot of homework? Her student. So here her student is indirect object, because it is, clear, her student, it receives the action. It receives the direct object. Clear? And your direct object is the receiver of your action, clear, denoted or shown by a verb in a sentence. So that's enough, I think, for today. Inshallah, I shall be, clear, with you in my next video with new topic. If I hope that I would have been at success to, clear, make easy the topic. If you are, clear, if you are with me, clear, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share my channel. Thanks. Good luck.